Alright guys, so now we're going to start with the rear speaker install. As you see, we have Pioneer speakers back here. We actually installed these whenever we did our window tint video to go ahead and improve the quality of them a little bit. We're actually moving these to the front because we want the duals back here. So while we have the speakers out of it and everything, we're going to go ahead and install the line output converter and get it hooked up so that everything's going to be nice and clean and easy to work with. Okay, so we're currently starting to mount the line output converter install. I'm actually going to show you guys a little trick. I don't know if I can do it right. There it is. Do that, it'll twist the wires together, make them easier to deal with. And I'm going to do that on both of them because these, okay, let me explain the line output converter. So this right here goes to one set of speakers. These right here go to the other set of speakers. Then you have a ground, a power, and then this is a remote turn on wire. Now the reason why I bought one with a remote turn on wire is because we're not putting an aftermarket radio in this thing, which is the entire purpose for this line output converter. So with that, I recommend buying one with a remote wire. That way you don't have to tie into a fuse or anything. You can just tie it in right here. And if you're doing one without a remote wire, you don't actually need these two wires. You can just cap them and leave them off and just do your speakers, from what I understand. And that's totally fine. But since this thing requires a power and a ground so that we can actually power on our amp using the remote. So we're gonna get it installed. We're basically, if you look up here for a minute, this is one speaker. We have our other speaker over there. We haven't taken it out yet. And we're gonna be bugging these down. We're gonna run some speaker wire from here down to there, and we're gonna get them hooked up. But and then we're gonna be putting the duals back here like we already discussed in the earlier portion of the video. So like I said, this is gonna be part 2 of the install, where we finally finish everything up. So just a 2-part video. Should be pretty good. Alright guys, so next thing we're gonna do is we're probably gonna set you guys up on a tripod and go ahead and get this thing started. Yeah. I've got some decent light. I got my little pocket light over here. Pretty sweet. Anyway, so I just want to show you guys exactly what I did. So I just used wire nuts. I just used some small wire nuts and tapped them all together. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't solder, it's because personally, I'm not a huge fan of soldering. I mean, wire nuts have always worked just fine for me. I've never had any issue out of them. So yeah, I pretty much just capped them off. And if you ever want to take these out, we don't have to worry about you know, sitting here cutting wires. We can just pull the wire nuts, pull the wires off, and get back in whatever we need to get in. So what I did on the other side is, as you can see, it's already installed. I basically just cut a tiny hole in the carpet and stubbed it down through that. So these are going to go to our line output converter on the back, which we're going to go put in just a second. But yeah guys, I just wanted to show you that. Oh, what the heck? Oh yeah, actually I already attached it to the line out converter, as you can see. I just used wire nuts again. Because like I said, it's hella easy to do it that way. So, yeah. And as you can see, what I have twisted together is your speaker leads. So, these things aren't as bad as they look. They're not as intimidating as a lot of people think they are. So, we're going to be going from there. Alright guys, so I have my line output converter ran. As you can see, I ran the power underneath the power thing, ground underneath the ground. I hope you guys can see that pretty good. And then our remote wire, we didn't actually have to add to it because we mounted it so close. It just fit right in the middle, guys. So that's going to work awesomely. Then the only thing that we have left to do is to put our speaker leads in for this side and run our RCAs the other side, and then we're done with the subwoofer install. After that, it's just going to be mounting the front speakers, and we'll be done. And I'm just going to actually tuck this underneath the power wire and maybe zip tie it to the power wire because, hey, why the fuck not? I got zip tied anyway. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Alright, so we have our amp wired in with our LOC. If you guys can see these wires, this is the most important part, okay? Especially if you're running a remote, is having these three right here put in. Now, We tested this before we had the remote wire turned in with a digital multimeter. We only got 12. We didn't get anything actually. We didn't get any voltage on these, and we were like, why? Well, the remote wire wasn't hooked in, and the remote wire is actually what sends the signal to your amplifier, turning it on, causing your subwoofers to come on. So the last thing that we've got to do is we've got to run our RCAs, and then we got to run speakers to the actual subs, speaker wire to the actual subwoofers, and our connectors are down there, and then there's another one over here. We're actually going to run one here and one here, so we're going to be running them 2 different leads instead of bugging them together. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys completely understand how to install a line output converter. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Alright guys, so we're going to continue on now with our subwoofer install. That way everything is nice, and we're going to start cleaning things up, zip tying, and doing all that. Alright, so I'm just cutting more speaker wire off the roll we bought. Because this is 16 gauge, it's going to conduct a little better and make everything sound just a little bit better than it did before. And so yeah, we're going to be doing that. And then these, they just tie in right here. I hope you guys can see these speaker level outputs. Let me see that light, bud. And you guys see them right there? They are actually right there. Yeah, see them last two terminals to take an Allen key? That is your speaker level outputs. This is your RCAs, and then your speaker level outputs are right below it. So that's what we're going to be doing. So yeah, let's continue on with it.
Stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks.
Alright, so we've got our subwoofer outputs, and that's basically just our RCAs. And this is just going to tuck up behind here and run across into over here. Over here, bud. And we're going to have one in, one out. That's the way these are designed. So now the thing should be completely functional. We're going to test them first. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but they should be completely functional now. Alright, so I got everything ran. We got our thing zip tied up right there, kind of hidden underneath the carpet. And it's ran up there along. That's where we bundled up our RCAs, because we literally just had to run from one side to the other. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but probably not. But back in there, we actually zip tied the line output converter to the, oh yeah, you can see it now. We actually zip tied it to the power wire, so that way it's held in place and all that good stuff. And they're actually hitting really hard, a lot harder than we ever thought they were gonna hit. So that's awesome. You want me to play them for them? Yeah, actually, yeah, we are gonna give you guys a demo, aren't we? Yeah. This wouldn't be a video without a demo. So yeah, we're gonna give you guys a demo, but it's gonna be copyright free because, you know, I'm tired of these damn copyright strikes. Okay guys, so we had the door panel started back together, and I was wondering why these two screws weren't going. I was having a pain in the butt with them.
You're having a pain in the butt with them.
I was having trouble getting them in, and it's because of this thing right here. So I'm gonna take a hammer and beat the shit out of it. Boys and girls, we're gonna go ahead and take out these rear speakers, and actually we put these in. I think the polarity's wrong on them because they're not producing as much sound. Now, real quick tip: if you put in your speakers and they don't sound like they're putting out as much as they should, try reversing the polarity. Because if the polarity's not right on them, they're gonna sound like ass. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They're gonna sound as good as your factory ones, or actually in this case, they sound way worse. So I'm gonna try reversing the polarity on these and see if it improves it. If you end up using the quick connect things, like for the factory, when they plug into the factory harness, you shouldn't have to worry about this because it should already be aligned inside the clip which way it goes. But yeah guys, we're gonna go ahead and pull these out and try reversing the polarity, and we're gonna see how they sound first. Two, one.
Right. Okay.
You'd probably think I was psychotic if you knew what I still got in my closet. Sad but true, I slip it on over my shoulders. Something I'll never get over. It makes me feel a little bit closer to you.
Hello everyone, my name is Pedro, and I want to thank you very much for watching.
Oh yeah?
You zoomed in on Facebook. You zoomed in on Pedro's face.
No.
Why don't? Now you are not. I know you zoomed in on Pedro's face.
I don't know how you're talking about. Fucking Pedro looking at
Alright,
us.
so I want to thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more.
Oh yeah?
I see you next time. Bye. Stop zooming in.
Yeah!